let's switch gears here because you brought up something that I really want to talk about. None of us are really religious, but we all know a lot.
I wanted to hear about.
We all know a lot about religion.
I'm very interested in the way that you framed this.
So, because they are a cult. Don't get me wrong.
That's why I wanted to understand.
We are gonna. So you mentioned your background. Just so happens that our only patron, shout out to the For the Wheel, is also you've met him. It's blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of the damn name. I hope he's not watching. He might get mad. But
you were trying not to say it.
Shut up, everyone, shut up. It's not true. It's all lies. You stop talking.
I talk all the time.
Anyway, we have a very well versed knowledge of the Jehos, the witnesses of Jehovah. So why don't you I'll let you lead the way. So we all know the basics, but you said cult, right? So I'll be honest, actually. It's funny you bring this up. I've been watching this YouTube channel you may have heard of called Telltale. Tell Tale. And this guy also is he's on the autism spectrum, but he used to be
check him out.
Yeah, I wrote him in the chat and I'll yeah. But he's also ex-Jehovah's Witness and has some pretty horror stories that he rarely touches on, but he does go into his background. But his whole thing is he goes into Jehovah's Witness shows for kids, for adults, anything they release, and he points out the propaganda and where it's wrong and why this is fucked and why this is a fucked religion. And he's been banned from the headquarters in New York. He's been banned from he showed a newsletter where they talked about his channel and how you should never go near his channel. And he's just completely even-handed, but he talks about one thing I know you probably haven't seen, but you may have heard, and it's called Caleb and Sophia, and they're cartoons for kids. And he ricks them apart because it's funny you say cult, because that's the whole point. And so I want you to tell us about your upbringing, and I'm going to tell you some of these Caleb and Sophia videos that Telltale has ripped apart, and we're gonna compare notes because some of them are brutal. But they're put in like a happy kid version. So like I can't wait to hear.
I knew a friend who was Jehovah's Witness. This has nothing to do with the religion itself. But every time I went to this kid's house always smelled like burnt pizza pops. I don't know what the deal was. That's how every time I've gone
there. That's when you find out that's actually just the perfume they have. Everett.
My mind is associated with this. Every time I think of Jehovah's Witness, I get that smell in my mind of burnt pizza pops. I don't know.
Interesting.
Pepperoni or cheese?
It's just that smell association because this was the only person I knew.
All right.
I really am not sure where to start with this. Like, is there anything specific you want to know?
Did you
all right. So we're throwing the pizza pops out. God damn it. Fucking okay. So for example, one of the things he talks about a lot is whenever a kid does something that's not part of the religion, but you can't control them because you're in a public school, your job is to give them material. Be like, hey, I think you're going through this. Here, read this material on being a Jehovah's Witness. And you as a kid are supposed to go to other kids and encourage them to read this stuff. And one of the examples I'll give you is in this Caleb and Sophia video, Sophia goes to her mom and says, well, oh yeah, my friend Sara and her two moms. And her mom's like, oh, she has two moms? And she's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Jehovah believes in one man and one woman. And I'm going to give you, and you should tell your friend that she should live by Jehovah's ways. Now, her parents her parents have made their decision and we have to respect that. But you should tell your friend that this is what Jehovah believes. And here, you should give her this reading so you can do it with her. And according to Telltale, this is a real thing that happens. A real thing that. So please, I see that award-winning grin down there. I feel like I hit a chord. So tell us.
Outside I'm laughing, inside I'm seething with rage. What can I say?
Perfect. Welcome to the villains.
That's the first step.
It's see, like, I know their organization, because that's what it is, has changed a lot in recent years. I'm only learning about all the changes because I've actually been going into YouTube and finding, like, there's one channel I'm watching called XJW Critical Thinker, and I really love their channel. I've actually reached out to them. I haven't gotten back to them on actually talking to them yet, but
that's cool.
I've recently seen these new videos and stuff coming out, and it's so fucked up. Another thing I want to bring up is my entire, like, for some reason, you know, like once my dad remarried, his wife's daughter was in college and whatnot, but a lot for, like, most of, you know, history for J-dubs, college and secondary school is very much frowned upon, as you're not going to need it in the new system of things. You're going to need carpenters and plumbers and shit like that. You're not going to need lawyers and, you know, shit like, or doctors, because everyone's going to live forever in the new system of things, right? So they stunt your growth through education. They stunt your growth through learning who you are. You're not, you know, like, you're not allowed to have sex till you're married, right? And, like,
Oh, fuck that. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud?
Some people ain't good, so no.
Exactly. Some people are very bad at sex.
It's just,
You gotta
you know,
learn.
it's so fucked up. Exactly. And, like, so my mom came from a very fucked up family growing up. Like, she was born and raised Jehovah's Witness. She had, what was it, 4 sisters and 5 brothers, so 10 kids total.
Oh.
My grandfather was not good to the kids. I won't say more, but he went to prison. And, you know, my mom left home at, like, 17 and married my dad. My dad, what was it? I think she was 17 and he was 31, 32 when they got married. And she had me at 19. My dad got into the religion at 13. His parents became Jehovah's Witness because the world was coming to an end. So, you know, I've actually have a picture of my dad in front of his Christmas tree as a kid, and he was the most controlling, manipulative piece of oh my god, I can't even.
And it's not like, that's nothing unusual. Like, from everyone I've ever talked to about Jehovah's Witness, and going to the Caleb Sylvia videos, if you watch Telltale, that is ingrained. Like, you listen to your parents. You listen to your father.
All you know, that's all
Yeah.
you know is
If your father says it, it is law. Your mother is second in command. It's and that's just ingrained. Like, I couldn't do it.
it's really fucked up, man. Like, fuck, let me take a sippy here.
Oh, please, what are you drinking? Tell our fans.
Some basic bitch beverage.
A strong basic big beverage. So you're stringing like a cooler.
Hashtag sponsor.
That's
very neutral.
Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored.
Hashtag drink basic bitch.
Oh, fuck.
That'll be our first drink if we ever make one. The villain's basic bitch.
The villain's basic bitch? Basic bitch brew! And it'll be my face on it.
Can I design the taste?
Oh my god. Oh my god. We gotta do that.
Okay, but so were you ever encouraged by your dad to go and talk to other children about joining the religion?
My dad was actually pretty lazy, and he worked nights at Canada Post, so he could do whatever the fuck he wanted at night. So not really. It wasn't until he got the new wife that all of a sudden everything had to be picture perfect. So yeah. What's funny about that is when we all moved in together after they got married, his mom moved in with us too. She was living with us. Like, honestly, she took care of me and my sister more than my dad did after my parents split. So, yeah, so we all moved in together, and my grandma was the first one to get kicked out, and then me. So, yeah, that was a loving father right there. I tell
Your
you
own
what.
mother out. Wow.
Yeah. Because him and her and his new wife weren't getting along, and so she left. She, left. I think, more so he had kicked her out. So that really sucked. And then after I graduated high school, I went to SAIT for a semester, and then I had to drop out. I didn't have enough money to continue, and then I started working at a gas station, and then one day I was like, in my room sleeping, and then he sends me a text, "Yo, can you come upstairs for a minute?" I was in a basement room. And my whole, my dad, my stepmom, stepsister, and my sister were all around the table. And basically they were like, "We want you to leave. We're bringing our family down." So I just remember crying, not being able to hardly breathe or speak. I was like, well, my life's over. I have nowhere to go. All that fun stuff. So that was a minute.
I think I can confidently say by your story that it was not you doing it.
Yeah, I can confidently say I agree with that. Just listening to your story, I'm pretty sure it wasn't you. Fuck, man, you have more. Fuck, if that ever happened to me, man, I would unload. I'd be like, no, you can kick me out, but you're all pieces of shit, and there's why.
The hardest fight to deal with.
Oh, it's not though. Once you get angry, once you hit that tipping point, family is easy to deal with. Because you just speak your mind and it gets things done.
That depends on how you maintain that relationship.
Who I am today is a very savage person when it comes to that kind of bullshit. If they were, if I still had to deal with that kind of shit today, I wouldn't fly. I would throw so many words, maybe a few hands. But like back then, because of how I was brought up and I was fat, I had no friends. I had fucking nobody. Like, my dad's mom is the only fucking person who even gave a shit. When he kicked me out, he told her, "Don't give her any fucking money." She would give me money. She would make sure I was okay.
That's awesome.
Nobody else. Nobody else.
That's good.
When he kicked me out. My mom's like, "Well, you're not moving in with me." So, like, actually, I lived with her for 6 months, and she charged me $900 a month to live with her. And then she kicked me out one day for no reason. And I got laid off my job, and she still kicked me out. So,
man, my cousin did almost the exact same thing to me.
Fuck.
It's bullshit.
Man. Do you still talk with any of your family? Like, you don't have to answer that, but
I'll say whatever. I don't care. I talk to my sister once in a while. She's not really supposed to.
Oh, she got indoctrinated, eh?
Here's the thing. So after my dad kicked me out, I rented a room from this guy, construction worker, for about 6 months. He was fucking fucked up. Like, he had a deaf girlfriend. He did coke. He would get drunk and fucked up and beat her. And it was a really bad place to be. My mom was like, "Come live with us, but we're going to charge you rent." I'm like, fuck whatever. $900 a month. But she kicked me out after 6 months. I paid that shit. Kick me out, whatever. A lot of money for a room for your kid.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So after that, I got laid off my job. I moved into this basement suite. And that day I moved in, I had no job. My sister decided she's gonna leave my dad's house and come live with me. So that lasted about 6 months. She she went through it too. She would get in these weird moods, and she would like her friends would come over. She'd get in this weird mood. She'd literally flip her desk with all her art stuff on it, and then leave for 3-4 days and come back. 6 months after she moved in, like I did get a job. I started training to be a dog groomer, so I did have an income. I was doing okay. My sister, about 6 months later, I came home one day and she was not okay. Like she didn't have an actual room. She just had a mattress in a main living area. So she was just fucked up. I called 911. Turned out she took probably 60 something sleeping pills. And I got her there. Ambulance got her there just in time. Just in time. So she ended up moving back in with my dad and ended up becoming a full-fledged Jehovah. That being said, I don't know if I should say it, but I don't know if she believes it or not. I mean, she's practicing, she's
But
into it. I don't know her truth. I don't.
they broke her.
I'm not comfortable saying, essentially, I'm not comfortable saying what, like.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. But like from what you've laid out, what you have said that you can is like, it just sounded like broken. Like you're two broken people. And at that point, they're like, fuck it. Yeah, let them go out into the world. Let them see what the world's like. They'll come back. Fuck it. And you were lucky. You were able to actually get out. But your sister, she got fucking reeled back in. The same thing happened to my buddy. His sister and him. As soon as they both got cut out together, and my buddy was able to keep away, but after about 4 years, the sister crawling back, and now she's gone. Like, you're right, it is a fucking cult, and they know it. They know they do not prepare you for society, they do not prepare you for life, and they do not prepare you for social interactions. So they're like, yeah, fucking leave. We'll be back in a year because you don't know any fucking other thing. It's
It's either make it or break it at that point, right?
Man.
And when you're broken, you usually
break it. Yeah, and that was her lowest point. That wasn't mine, because like I was cutting at that time. I'd been cutting since probably 16, 17, right? So, it wasn't till, so after that, I moved out of that place as fucking fast as I could. Couldn't be there after dark by myself. It fucked me up. So I moved into an apartment by myself, and that was my first official Christmas by myself. So one of my old friends, she came with her dad, picked me up, and I spent the next few years with them every Christmas. And that was one of, like having people outside of the religion growing up is so important, especially if you want to leave. Like you got to plan that shit ahead of time, and you got to keep it fucking quiet.
And now that you've had to experience more than a few Christmases, you now realize why a lot of people say I fucking hate Christmas. So now welcome to the other side of that. Birthdays, though. I don't know how you don't celebrate birthdays. That's just so evil.
It's funny because when I was a kid, like I wanted to do all those things too so bad, and it's like I didn't know I didn't want to be a Jehovah's Witness when I was a kid. My sister knew that I didn't want to be one way before I did. It's funny how that worked. And it's also funny because growing up, she was always saying, like, we always kind of would talk about the future and how she was probably just going to fuck off and disappear, and I would stay and take care of the family. And it completely reversed. Like,
it's a reflection of what happens all the time, man.
We all live in the same city, too, and I have literally almost nothing to do with anybody. And, yeah.
So what I hear is deep down, you wanted a pretty princess Disney birthday party since you were a little girl. And nothing would make you happier than seeing me and Brett walk out in pink tutus and fairy wings
I would do it.
with all your friends and have like a pink friends and have the most frilly like little girl birthday party for you. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing?
I would love a surprise party, but I'm never gonna ask for it. Plain and simple.
That's the point. It's a party.
It sounds like it's been put into the air. It sounds like it's been put into the air, and I have his number. Oh, this could be fun if you forget. Oh, this could be fun.
If you forget.
If you're gonna contact
Because I would not tell you, and nothing would make me happier than walking home and seeing me and Brett in pink spandex in your kitchen with tutus.
I can make you
You're gonna-
fitted to your size and everything.
Yes, please.
I'm so excited.
John, you're at a 10. I need you at a 6 for a moment. If you're gonna contact anyone, contact Varesh.
Oh yeah,
I gotta piss again. I'll be right back.
Varesh and Ben. I'll contact Ben too. I'll drag Ben from BC. Exactly, because you know he'll do it. You know he'll do it.
Here in September with no notice. He showed up at the garage at Eau Claire Market when I was on the patio. Walked up right behind me. I
Yeah,
gotta piss. I'll be right back.
I know the people to call. I know the people to call.
Ghostbusters. We call them.
Exactly.
Yes, but yes, I can make you the perfect princess dress for the occasion.
In case anyone's wondering, that is the cat.
That-
Oh.
If I wish the cat that was here would show off. He is a loaf, and he is the biggest chub I have ever seen.
He is a loaf. I thought you were trying to say he is aloof, but then you said the second sentence. I'm like, oh no, he meant loaf.
Like bread.
He sits on the armchair of the couch. He takes up the entire armchair, the entire arm of the chair.
Of course he does. He's a fatty. He's a big boy.
He's a thick boy. He's a thick boy.
I love fat cats. They're so cute. Well, we're coming down to the last few minutes. I suppose we'll close out with one thing I did want to ask.
You had the topic, and that was. I feel like that was very brief.
What?
I feel like
Yeah, that
hooping
went by
was very
really
brief.
fast.
Yeah, I feel like the hooping was very brief. Yeah, like,
That's because someone didn't want to talk about it. Okay. Let's end on the hooping because I want to actually ask you about some of your hooping moves because I've watched you do it a long time, and like I want to know at what point can you start lighting those hoops on fire?
Ooh, yeah.
I've had a fire hoop for probably 2 years.
What?
Where are those videos? Huh?
No, okay, so I've never burned it, and I don't. It's hard. Okay, so
of course, it's hard as fire.
it's more the hoop community because, like, I wanna do it with someone who's done it before, but like,
Don't want to hurt yourself.
I'm not really tight with a lot of people in that community. So, but that being said, I have like 6 LED hoops, and I just got 2 more in recently, and I'm really pumped on those because they're light as fuck.
Those are pretty sick. Those LED hoops. No, I have no hips.
Like like a wrist hoop or like a waist hoop and things like that. Like I don't know.
A wrist hoop, like a bracelet?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hear John going, I have no hips. Anybody can hoop. You just need the proper size, and dollar store hoops are fucking garbage. Plain and simple. If you want to do waist hooping, like literally anyone can do it. I could do it when I was fucking 300 pounds. Just get some tubing from like a hardware store and make it so it comes up to like your waist or even higher. The bigger the hoop, the easier it is to do.
That makes sense. Centripetal force and all that.
A lot of people think it's like, oh, it's going to be really hard if it's bigger. And I'm like, it's actually like painfully easier.
Yeah.
Way easier.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like the smaller
More
hoops are harder.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
more momentum goes crazy.
That being said, it's I don't like waist hooping or body hooping. I prefer the technical trick shit because it's more fun.
That makes
It's
sense.
more flashy.
Yeah.
It's also more danceable. I watch you dance around with those hoops. I'm still waiting for you to throw them like 50 feet in the air and then light them on fire, then rip them through a crowd.
That'll be the next season.
That's how you get your superpowers. That's how you get your superpowers. You light a hoop on fire and start ripping it through the crowds of dude bros at Shambhala. I got your beer here, bros.
Can't even bring my hoops outside in this weather; they'll crack.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh.
That would be so
yeah,
painful.
it's like -40. Everything cracks. It's ridiculous.
Not in the middle of summer.
Plastic's not made for that.
It's not the middle of summer.
For $600 per hoop, it's like not worth it.
This temperature shatters piping. So yes.
Are they like custom made in the mines of Erebor by the great dwarves of Schmagenrog?
Like a computer inside a hoop, I can plug it into my Mac and I can like create my own patterns and like can customize literally anything. There's motion reaction.
I know you've told me this before, but the future, man. You get to program your own hula hoop for your hooping experience.
What a better way to sell it.
I have four smart hoops and then 2 are just like one pattern. That's it. They're
I really want a hoop that has like Siri's voice, and as you're hooping, be like, talks to you. Would you like to purchase this new thing? We've noticed you've already done 400 revolutions. Would you like to make sure you take a break by getting an ice cold, refreshing iced tea located at the 7-Eleven 4 blocks away? Would you like directions? Smart hoops.
If you head now and hoop your way there, you'll get there in 15 minutes.
Would you like us to plot you a course? And there's like an arrow that shows on the hoop where you should be.
And instead of a walking train, it's a person with a little ring around them.
Oh, I'm sorry. At that point, we are at the end of the show. It is 60 minutes. I would like to thank Lucid Lullabeyes for coming on to the show. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it was great. Thank you so much. As always, we have the elusive gentleman, Insanieac, Sara, Vike, No Grease Goblin, and I am C4, and we are the villains of the Villains Talk Show.
I'm going to say thanks to Bugsprout. Check out their podcast stuff. If you want to start your own podcast, go to their website. They're wonderful. We started ours there. It's free. It's amazing. Do it. It's great. Check out the thing.
I'm sorry you had nothing better to do, but I'm glad you spent it with us here. And that's the show.
There's the loaf cat. Where's the loaf cat? I had the loaf cat. That's the loaf cat.
Can't see anything. Oh, there! Oh my goodness, that is a fat cat.
Look at that loaf. He's a thick boy. He's a thick boy.
You're just making fun of a cat. And this is how we end the show.